Hi, I am Deshawn, and this is my Vlogmas. Good morning. I am Deshawn, and today's weather is cloudy, and right now it is 33 degrees, but the high is going to be 42. That is freezing to me. But let me know what kind of weather you guys are having. If you're having snow, please send some our way. Okay, you guys, when I got to the MRI place, you had to sign in, but when you walk in, they had the hand sanitizer machine, so I put my hand over there, sanitize my hand, and then you had to sign your name in and give them your insurance card and everything. So after that, you had to sit down and wait for them to call your name. So let me tell you, I was in the waiting room for a long time. My appointment was supposed to only take an hour, but I was in the waiting room for 45 minutes. So I was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna be here forever. So when they finally called my name, and the dude, he told me, he said, follow me into this room. So, okay, we went into this little small room. It had lockers or whatever. And he was like, take off everything. I was like, everything? He said, everything. I said, okay. So I took my coat off. And then, you know, I was going to take off my shirt. He said, wait, what you doing? I said, you told me to take off everything. He said, no. He said, just your jacket and just your bag. I said, oh, okay. So I took that off, and he told me to put it inside the locker. So I put it inside the locker. And then he said, follow me. So I followed him, and he took me to this another room, and had this big muscular dude in there. And he was like, he's going to give you the contrast. He going to give you a shot and put the contrast in your body. So when I sat down, he made me sit down in a wheelchair or whatever, because I don't know why he put me in a wheelchair. So he pushed me up to the dude, and the dude, you know, he's like, you've done this before, haven't you? I said, yes. I said, but let me tell you something. I said, it's going to be hard for you to get my blood. And he was like, he said, I'm not going to take any blood. He said, what he said? I just want to, he's like, I got to put the contrast in you. He said, I got to put an IV in you. And I was like, okay, but it's going to be hard for you. I said, because my veins, they're not normal veins. I said, you're going to probably have to use the smallest needle you have. He's like, it's okay. He said, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. I said, listen to me. Listen. I said, it's going to be hard for you to do it. And then I'm looking at him, and he got these big old muscles. So I know he was going to be rough. Because, you know, he was a big dude. So I was like, this man, he's going to be rough. I know it's going to hurt. But, you know, he said, give me your arm, your right arm. So I gave him my right arm, and he stuck me up here first. That didn't work. So then he got they have this little, cause at first he checked both arms, and he couldn't get my veins to act right, and he used a little flashlight. Y'all know I don't know if y'all ever seen it. It's a flashlight that they put on you to try to find your veins, and even with the flashlight, he couldn't find them. So he got the flashlight again, and he was looking, and I was like, you know, I already stuck me. And I said, that hurt really bad. He's like, I'm sorry. He said, but I gotta do it again, because I gotta get the contrast to go in your body. So I was like, so what you finna do now? He's like, let me try the other arm. I said, no, you ain't gonna be able to do that arm. And he was like, I will. I said, you said that last time. So he said, let me just see that arm. So I pulled my sleeves up, and I showed him. And he used a little flashlight on my arm. He couldn't find the vein. So he came back to this one over here. And then he started tapping on my hand. And y'all know I just had some blood taken from, what was that? Was that last week when the girl had to do it from my hand because she couldn't get it from my arm? So I was like, baby, no, you're not finna do it from my hand. And he was like, well, I can't get it out your arm. I said, but you're not finna do it from my hand. Because, okay, first of all, that bruise that I had here from last time, it just not healed. But when they stuck me in my hand, it still hurt, y'all. I can still feel it. It still hurt. Even when I'm touching it, it's hurting. So I was like, you're not finna stick me in my hand. And he was like, okay, I'm not gonna stick it in your hand. So he started putting the alcohol on my wrist. So in my mind, I'm thinking, it don't matter where he stick you, it's gonna hurt. So I was like, okay. And he was like, he said, it's a smaller needle, so it's not gonna hurt that much. I said, okay. So he rubbed it with the alcohol. He put the little rubber band on there to tighten it. And then he used a little light to find the vein. And then he stuck the needle in me. Y'all, it hurt so bad. And when he put it in there, it's like he started moving it around, trying to, I guess, catch the vein, y'all. If he wasn't such a strong man with big muscles, I probably would have socked him in his face. But he was pretty big, and I knew he would probably sock me back. So, you know, he did all that, and then he was like, okay, we got it. So he put the contrast in the IV and everything, and oh, that contrast when it's going inside of you, y'all, it feels like somebody putting bleach inside your body. I don't know, it don't feel too good. So after he did that, he wrapped it up, and you know, he wrapped both of them up, and I was like, thank you for not putting the Band-Aid on there. And he was like, why? I was like, because when y'all put them Band-Aids on me and I take them off, it takes off a layer of skin. And he said, oh yeah. He said, yeah, I know. I said, well, if you know, why do y'all do that? He's like, well, we didn't. He said they used to didn't have this kind of stuff, this little stretchy stuff to do it or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. So then he was like, okay, well, you can go back and wait or whatever. So I went back in the waiting room, and in walks this tall guy, and I looked at him because he looked so familiar to me, y'all, because I know a lot of tall people, and this dude, he was like 6'7". So I was looking, and I was looking at his eyes because he had a mask on, so you really couldn't see that much. But I was looking at his eyes, and his eyes looked familiar because his eyes, they were brown, like a light brown, and his hair, it was wavy, but you know how a man be having waves. His hair was like that, but I could tell that if he grew his hair out, that it would be like real curly. So I was like, man, I think I know this dude or whatever. So I'm looking at him, I'm staring, I'm watching him walk, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, is he a basketball player? You know, I'm just really thinking. And then, you know, my best friend Jesus was like, stop staring at him. And I was like, well, I'm trying to see if I know him. And my best friend Jesus was like, it don't matter if you know him because you don't know why he's here. Because it says a hospital. And he was like, he could be here for any reason. He said, so it doesn't matter if you know him, you're not going to go talk to him. I was like, yeah, but if that's my homeboy, I at least want to speak. And my best friend Jesus was like, no, forget it. So I was like, all right. So I just sat back. And then in walks another tall guy. And this guy was even taller. And he was, you know, more muscular. He was like 6'9". And I was like, is this a basketball team coming up in here? So, you know, I'm really looking now. But y'all know how I feel about tall guys. So I wasn't looking too hard. But I was trying to look and see if I know them because I know a lot of tall people. So I was like, you know, just looking, and then they called my name, and I was like, okay, they would call my name now. So they called my name, and they put me back in the wheelchair, and they pushed me into the room, and they was like, you finna get on this bed, and I'm gonna take your brace off, and I was like, cause we hadn't made it to the bed yet, so I thought he was wanting me to get up out the wheelchair right then and there. And I was like, are you going to carry me? And he was like, no, I'm not gonna carry you. He's like, I'm gonna push you up to his bed, and then once you're on the bed, I'll take the brace off. I was like, okay. So I laid on the bed, and he was like, you okay? I was like, I'm okay. I said, but I want a blanket. He said, okay. I said, I want a heated blanket. He was like, okay. I said, I want some music too. He said, what kind of music you want? I said, some R&B music. He said, okay. So I laid down there, and he put the thing on my head and put the blankets on me and everything. And then it was different because the thing he put on my head, it had mirrors and stuff in it. So I could see what... Did y'all just hear what my neighbor said? Anyway, I could see what was going on around me. I could see in the room that they have across from me. I could see everything in the room because they had mirrors inside the thing that they put on my head. So I was like, okay, that's different, because normally they put that thing on your head, you can't see nothing. So, you know, he put the headphones on there, the music playing. I was like, okay. I said, I could have sworn I said R&B music. Baby, he had trap music playing, which I don't mind because I like to work out to trap music. And my body is used to me working out to trap music. So when they put me in the machine, I kept telling myself, like, don't start dancing, because I like to work out to trap music and dance to trap music. So I had to keep telling myself, don't start dancing. And then my best friend Jesus was like, if you start dancing, they're going to start over and you're going to be here longer. I was like, okay, but that's my song. And it was my song, y'all. I was like really trying to hold myself from dancing and moving. But then my best friend Jesus, he was like, okay, go ahead and move if you want to. Then that'll be longer that you have to go without eating. I was like, you right. Because, baby, when I tell y'all I was hungry, my stomach was growling so loud. So I was be still, and he told me, the dude, the doctor, he told me, he said, he said this first part is only going to take 20 minutes. I said, really? He was like, yeah, because normally it take hours. I said, 20 minutes, you for sure? He was like, yeah. I said, okay, cool. And then he said, he gave me this little thing to squeeze. He said, if you need, if like emergency, whatever, squeeze it or whatever. And he said, you want me to turn the music up? I said, nah, it don't matter how loud you turn it up. I'm not going to be able to hear it over this machine. And he started laughing. So he went back in the room and towards the back, you know, where they could watch me and everything. And he turned the music up a little bit, and I could have sworn I said R&B music, right? But no, it was straight up trap music, because the next song that came on was a trap song. But I wasn't tripping. I like trap music. So after that, after the time went off, he pulled me out of the machine. He said, now we're finna put, it was some other medicine they finna put me. So they put it inside the IV. And then after that, he said, it's gonna take 5 minutes and then you'll be done. I said, okay, just 5 minutes? He said, yeah. So he did that. Then after 5 minutes, he pulled me out. He said, you're done for the day. I said, oh, okay. So,
Mommy, I'm hungry.
Again?
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, when I went back into the weight room, the working girl, she was like, oh, I love your hair. I was like, thank you. Why, when she was doing my paperwork, she, you know, you got to put on there what race you are. She said, are you black? I said, yes, I'm black. She said, black? I said, yes, I'm black. She said, you sure? I was like, yes, I know. I said, I'm black. And she was like, you not mixed with nothing? I said, I'm not mixed with anything. She was like, oh, okay. So when I was leaving, it was these women that was sitting there, and they was like, they started screaming at me. They was like, we love your bag. And I was like, thank you. Like, y'all know I always got a bag or whatever. So they was like, we love your bag. I was like, thank you. They was like, we love your hair too. I was like, thank you. And then they was like, we love you. I was like, thank you. And then, you know, I called my ride, and then one of the ladies, she was like, you can come sit by me. I shook my head, no. Like, what what I look like coming to sit by you? I don't even know what you up in this waiting room for. No, I'm not gonna come sit by you. But I didn't say all that. I was thinking that, but I didn't say all that. I was like, no, thank you. And then the other lady, she was like, come sit by me. I was like, I'm okay. I said, my ride on the way. I don't know why they want me to sit by them. So then, when my ride pulled up, the worker girl that worked there, she said, is that your ride? I said, yes. So I started walking towards the door, and then next thing I know, all the girls, they started running towards the door. They like, we got the door. And then the worker, she ran around the corner. She was like, I got it. She said, I'm gonna be the one to open the door for her. And I was like, okay. And then it was funny to me because there was a button to press for the doors to open themselves, so I necessarily didn't need anyone to open the door because I could have pressed the button, but for whatever reason, they was fighting over who gonna open the door for me. So when she pressed the button and she opened the door, I guess the unlock button, whatever, and she pressed it and then she opened the door, and I went to that first door, and then she pressed the button to open the other door, and there was a dude that was standing right there in that area. He was coming in, and he spoke to me. He was like, have a good day. And I was like, thank you, you too. So when I walked out and, I was walking towards the truck, the girl who worked there, she told me, he better get out that truck and open up that door for you. I was like, he is. And she was like, well, I'm standing here and make sure he do. I was like, trust me, he's going to get out and open the door for me. And she was like, okay. So she saw my driver get out and come open the door for me. She was like, okay. She said, well, y'all have a Merry Christmas and everything. And she said, we love you. And I was like, okay. Y'all, I don't know what was going on in that waiting room. I don't know who they thought I was. I don't know. But everybody in there was excited to see me. No, maybe they were just excited to see my bag. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. They were all excited and super friendly. Like everybody in the waiting room, the workers, the patients, everybody. So I don't know what they were so happy about. But yeah, that's how my appointment went. It was, I didn't like the shots and everything, but the rest of it was pretty cool. The people was cool. Oh, I asked them why I could not eat before my appointment because I done been to plenty of MRIs and they ain't never told me I couldn't eat. So I asked, I said, why couldn't I eat? And the dude told me, he said what it is like the contrast. Some people when they eat and then they take the contrast, they throw up. He said, but the kind of contrast that they use, he said most people don't throw up from it. So he said he don't know why they told me that. I said, man, because I'm hungry. He was like, oh, yeah. He said, well, I haven't had lunch yet. You want to go get some lunch? A part of me wanted to say, yes, I do want to go get some lunch. But then another part of me was like, if I leave this building with this man and my driver see me get in his vehicle, my driver is going to have something to say. Y'all already know the situation. So I was like, nah, it's okay. So, but I was hungry. I was hungry. Thank you for watching.